Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to MotoGP 18, and welcome to Assen in Holland. So we're in the Red Bull Rookies Cup, which is the 250cc KTM, and let me get a replay going, and I'll tell you what I'm learning about this game. So we are, let me see if I can I do camera? Yes, it looks like I can. Maybe. There we go. Right, so it's just going to show position and lap. I hope it does. No, it's not. So you can see from up there that I did finish 21st. Wow, that's a really intense view. Oh, that's not bad. Okay, so we're doing 50% races, 50% race length, and there's 7 races in the season. This is round 3, and let me tell you some things that I learned about the game so far. Starting from when I did that first test laps on the Ducati around the Red Bull ring. So if you're following this game at all, if you're following MotoGP at all, MotoGP 18, checking any of the threads, any of the forums, the first thing that you'll learn, I know, I'm a noob, trust me, it gets a little better. I do hit a few lines, but I go wide plenty. So, yeah, see, getting the hang of it. So one of the first things you'll see is that there's very little controller configuration, and you really can't assign any action to any button or any axis. It's kind of limited, and there is some frustration about it in the community. So there is a manual tuck-in button. You can do a manual tuck-in, you can do an auto tuck-in. I'm out of thumbs, so I'm doing auto tuck. But when I do a regular driving sim, I use something called thumbstick forward, which on a regular gamepad, like you have, and let me keep cycling views here. That one's no good. That's not very interesting. Let's go TV for a while. So I use something called thumbstick forward, and what that means is on a regular gamepad on a driving sim, instead of moving the left thumbstick side to side, right? You push it forward so that it rests against the front of its movement limit, and then you roll it to the left and right as though you were moving a steering wheel. It's one of those things that once you hear about it, once you learn about it, it's like, that is effing brilliant. And it really is. Because just moving a thumbstick side to side, there's not really a lot of feel as far as position, and there's also not a lot of feel. I don't know how to describe it. It's like if you hold your hand in the air and just try to move it back and forth, it's moving back and forth, but it's sort of all over the place. Whereas if you put your hand on a wall, or on a steering wheel for that matter, like if you just hold your hand in the air and move it to the left and the right as though you're moving a steering wheel, it sort of moves all over the place. If you put your hand on a steering wheel and move it left to right, it moves in a very specific plane, right? This is TV coverage. It's doing this by itself now. I'm not controlling the view anymore. I mean, I still can, but I just have it on auto. So when you just move the thumbstick left and right, side to side, it sort of hovers in space, for lack of a better word. When you do that thumbstick forward technique and roll it around the top of its arc, you have a lot more control, and it's a lot more specific. It's very cool. So, yeah, I know. All over the place. So that's how I started controlling the sim, MotoGP 18, when I first got it. I assumed it would be like every other driving sim. But I learned something, which is that even though it's not marked in the controls, pushing the left thumbstick forward and back brings you up out of your tuck. So if you look at that Ducati video from the Red Bull ring, I keep popping up. And the reason I keep popping up is every time you push the thumbstick forward, you're giving the command to pop up, even though it's not listed in the controller codes. So you do have to, at least from what I know so far, you do have to just move the stick back and forth, left to right in space. You can't roll it forward. So that solved my popping up problem, my auto tuck problem. The second thing I had to figure out is I started doing a season, started doing the Red Bull Rookies 250 season. And I found that I was about 3 seconds off the pace. Now, you think I look bad now. So I kept starting these races, and I kept finishing not only 26th, but like 2 to 3 seconds per lap off the pace. And I could not for the life of me figure out what is going on here. Like, I'm not legend or anything, but I'm not this bad. Also, it was extremely consistent. Like at Jerez, the winner was typically running about a 153, and I was running a 156. So I tried all assists off, all assists on. I tried turning the AI up. I tried turning the AI down. And I was continually running a 156. So I was looking like, where can I find 3 seconds in this lap? I'm really not feeling like, I'm pushing the pace. I'm really at a loss as to where I can make up time. I'm just not seeing it. And also, it was extremely consistent, with and without assists. I was just at a loss. So I kept restarting races, right? And then just sort of perchance, I realized on the back straight at Jerez, no matter what position I came out of the turn that leads into that back straight, no matter where I was in relation to the field, they would just pull away from me on a straight. And I started to do a little detective work now, because we're in a spec racing class. We're all on identical 250s. All you can adjust is the suspension. So how is that possible? How is the pack pulling away from me in spec racing? In spec racing, you pin the throttle and everybody's going exactly the same speed. They're identical bikes. And I started still learning. But I started looking around a little bit, and I'll show you when we're done here. I'll show you the screen that I'm talking about. But I found a screen that said throttle ability, brake ability, lean ability, right? And it looked like it had something to do with XP. So now I'm starting to put it together. Okay, I need to level up, and that will increase my skill. Well, how the hell do you level up? And all you need to do is finish races. You don't have to win. Obviously you get more points if you win, but you need to finish a race all the way to the end. And what I was doing was restarting over and over and over, and then retiring because I wasn't finishing well enough to have any kind of a meaningful season. So I went all the way through the season one time and leveled up. And I took my, the throttle ability, the brake ability, I took it from a 40 to a 45. And I also leveled my character up from a 1 to a 5. And it seems to make a difference. I've got the AI on 40 right now, and you can see I'm making some green flag passes. Now, to be fair, the AI is pretty soft in the rain. If all the races were in the rain, I would do a lot better. But I had some decent finishes. I went from I think I got, once I figured out what I was supposed to do, I think I got 24th or something in my first race that I kept. And I finished the season 14th in points, but I leveled up, baby steps. It's a new character, but you get what I'm saying. I leveled up the character. So this is our second season now. This is the third race of the second season. And the reason I kept this one is because it's a smooth race and I don't crash. I am still crashing quite a bit, but I've got the assist turned down and the AI turned up just a little tiny bit. It's nowhere near 100%, but it's just a little tiny bit. So I can feel like I'm learning the tracks. I can feel like I'm learning the sim, and I can feel like I can throw a decent line every now and then, and I do. It's not perfect, but I am learning. It's completely different than controlling a car, sports car, F1 car, whatever. And the thing that's the strangest to me, that I really should know better from my own track days, but it's really hard to get used to in this sim. Is there's two things. One thing is you need to throw the bike into turns well early, where it looks like you're just going to throw yourself into the grass, but then of course the track curves away in front of you, and you end up in the right place. But it's a strange feeling to get used to, and also the idea that your wheels may be on the track, but your torso and shoulders are going to be out over the ripple strip out in the grass. So it's like you need to not always aim for the tarmac. Sometimes you need to aim for the ripple strip, and momentum and everything will carry you to the right place. But you see periodically, I get a turn just right. I lean it in just right, and like here, obviously wide. But every now and then, I'll throw it in at just the right time, just the right speed, carve right across the ripple strip. That's not, yeah, right there. That's not terrible. That's not bad. So coming around. It's taken a little learning. I also learned you can bump a little bit, but you don't want to bump when you're at the far limit of the bike. So you don't want to bump another rider when you're maxed out on throttle, when you're maxed out on braking, or when you're at your sort of maximum lean angle. But if you're kind of, letting the bike carry through, yeah, cut a little too deep that time. If you're letting the bike just kind of carry through on momentum and engine braking, you can bump a little bit, and it's not terrible. It won't immediately throw you. But I've crashed plenty of times, and I restart a lot of races because I crash out quite a bit. And when you crash, it does restart you. It's not, I have damage turned on, but I guess maybe in this league, at this level of character, I don't know. But when you crash, it just starts you again, puts you back on the track, starts you again. So I don't know what level you have to get to before damage matters. And I also don't think tire wear is a thing at this level. Having said that, I wish I could see what position I was in, because I get up to like 7th, I think. I'm looking for, so we got camera select, fast forward, rewind, pick a rider. No, I don't see a way to see position. But I get up to about, I want to say 7th or 8th, and then I lose a few, and that's not cool. And then I do, God, well, you'll see. It's fantastic. Perfect ending. Perfect. But I would say that's the two secrets to this game. If I had to share with you what I've learned so far in my first season, or I guess this is the beginning of my second season. But if I had to share with you what I've learned, it is finish races and level up your character. And it does it automatically. You can't, it's not like you get SP and you get to pick how to apply it. It automatically levels up all your skills. And then the other thing is, what was the other thing? I forgot already. Yeah, I'm just trying to learn the tracks and level up my character, but I seem to be making progress. Something else that I've learned is, like, you can see how far I'm leaning on straights, and I'm trying to get back online. And that's something else I need to work on, is when I come out of my tuck, when I come out of a turn, that I'm on the line. Because what happens is I hold my lean too long, so now when I'm on the straight, I'm in the wrong place. And to get back to, like, right there, I'm making these radical leans, and I'm just trying to get the bike centered on the straight. And that's a big waste of momentum, because when you lean that far, you're coming out of your bubble for one thing, coming out of your tuck, and also you're turning the bike, and when you turn, you lose momentum. So I need to, yeah. Well, we know this is the last lap, because I crashed right there about, what was that? Maybe 50 meters, 100 meters shy of the start finish. So that's the end of the race, and I'll get us out of here. Yeah, get us out of here, back to here. So this is the standings right now. As of round 3, I'm in P16 for the championship, and I'm 73 points back from first, and I just dropped a position. And I will, Let's move forward one menu. Here is that level up. So we just leveled up throttle management, and we are about to level up riding position, brakes management, and leaning angle. So this will definitely kind of help you out on that. Right. And then we go here, and let me see if there's one more thing I wanted to show you. I might be able to get to it. Proceed. Was there one other thing? I can't remember. Maybe. I don't even remember. There you go. Top right corner. I have 839 points of reputation, and my character is level 5. I did get an offer to move up to the, I want to say it's the Honda 250 series at the end of last season. I took a pass on that. I want to level up my character on the KTM 250 that I know, on a circuit of tracks that I know. So I will level up, I think, after this. In fact, let me go right here. Yep, that's what we've done so far. So we were 14th at Jerez, we were 21 in Italy, and then we were 21 in Holland. So there you go. That's my tips. It's round 3. I don't know. Maybe I'll do one more round from here and then start the series proper on the first race of the next level above. I don't know, what is that? MotoGP 2? Moto 2? I don't know. You know what I'm saying. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got. Folks, thanks for stopping back to check out The Portable Gamer. Thanks for joining us for episode 1 of MotoGP 18. And we will see you next time. Take care now.